kiss my ass.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest channel and podcast. If you have not subscribed yet, please do go ahead and hit that subscribe button wherever you are listening to this. And if you are on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. You just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. And let's just go ahead and get into this politics and BS. I have not done one of these in a while. And to be honest with you, I try to stay away from the political crap because it's just, politics is just dirty. We all pretty much know that. And I know there's some people that are just heavily involved in politics and they live and breathe by it. Some people worship these people that they elect, and it's just really ridiculous. But I mean, we live in an idol culture where people idol worship celebrities and all of that stuff. And so there are some people that literally believe that some of these political figures are like the next best thing since Jesus Christ, and some people actually believe that some of these people actually are Jesus in the flesh. So it's just really ridiculous to me. But at any rate, I digress. I saw this story and I just thought it was pretty funny because we all pretty much believe, even if we don't want to, or even if you are hoping and praying that he does, that Donald Trump intends to run for president again. I don't know. I think it's just, the whole thing is just really crazy. And just being beautifully honest, I'm not for any of these people. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I do vote most of the time. I can't say I vote every single time because, to be honest with you, I really don't know if my vote counts. Because if everyone isn't voting and they do so many things to really try to sway the vote, or they do these things like gerrymandering where they redraw district lines so that things are more in favor for this party or that party and whatever else and all of that other stuff. And then ultimately these people get in office and they look out for their best interests and for the special interests who are in their pockets. So, you know, for me, when I do go and vote, I'm like, you know, God, I don't know none of these people. I don't know if any of these people are intending on doing anything that's going to benefit me in any way. I don't vote based on who is running that is the same skin color as I am or any of those different things like that. I just hope and pray to live the best life that I can live while I am here, and hoping and praying that God just keeps me covered with all of the foolishness that's going on with all of these different people that get in office. But anyway, Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis. It's funny to me because I remember when Ron DeSantis was running for office the first time, and to be honest, to me, it just seemed like he was just pretty much kissing Donald Trump's butt. And he was doing political ads where he was really trying to show his loyalty to this man. And so any person that does stuff like that, you really have to just kind of watch them and be questionable of them. But a lot of the people who have been in the either space to run for office that is in that political party, most of them have wanted to like bow down and kiss the ring, even if they didn't really want to, for the sake of the voters who are for Trump and hoping that they can get either in office for the first time or get back in office. So, you know, we've seen that over and over again. Well, since that time, Ron DeSantis, I guess his polling has really gone above and beyond even that of Donald Trump. So with the prospects of Ron DeSantis possibly running for president, and Donald Trump is supposedly going to be announcing that he's going to be running for office again. You know, Donald Trump, he doesn't like anyone that he feels is against him, right? And if you're running against him, then he feels like you are against him, even if their purposes are supposed to be for the same thing, which is whatever the Republican agenda is. I thought that's what it's supposed to be about, but you know, Donald Trump, he wants to be like the king, and he doesn't want anyone to be above him or better than him. And if you're not for him, and it meaning for him, not just the party, not for the vision of whatever the Republican vision is, then you are against him. So this story is that he is threatening to release dirt on Ron DeSantis as he's becoming more popular as a governor and potentially running for president in 2024. So while flying back from a rally in Ohio, Trump ripped into DeSantis while with a group of reporters on his plane. And he says, quote, "If he did run, I will tell you things about him that won't be very flattering. I know more about him than anybody other than perhaps his wife, who was really running his campaign." Wow. 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 So he says, continuing about DeSantis possibly running for president, he says it would be a mistake. And he says, "I think the base would not like it." And I'm just like, wow. I just this does not surprise me. But honestly, in essence, if you ever watch the movie New Jack City, and if you haven't, if you're listening to this and if you haven't watched the movie, watch it. It stars Wesley Snipes. It's definitely a classic movie. And there's a scene in the movie where Wesley Snipes, who is like the drug kingpin, one of the guys in the crew, one of the other drug dealers, he, stands up to say something, and then Wesley Snipes, they were all dressed in black, and he points his hand, I believe he had a cane or something in his hand, and he said, "Sit your $5 ass down before I make change." Like, seeing this story, it reminds me of that. It's like Donald Trump does not want anyone to be above him or better than him, right? We've heard for the past 2 years how the election was stolen and he really won, and it's just like, I don't know. So I often relate back to television shows or movies that I've seen. And if you've ever seen The Golden Girls, there was this episode where Dorothy, she dreamt that she was on Jeopardy, right? And she dreamt that she was competing against Rose. And we know Rose was supposed to be like dumb, idiot, didn't have the most sense in the world. But she dreamt that she was competing against Rose on Jeopardy. And Rose actually won. And we know Dorothy, she's supposed to be smart. She's supposed to be a teacher and all of these different things. And she was answering the questions correctly, but for whatever reason, the answers that she was giving was coming up wrong. And the answers that Rose was giving wound up being correct. And so it was like a dream/nightmare for Dorothy. And she's like in this dream. And she's, before she wakes up, she's like tossing and turning. She's like, "I won. I won. I won." And it's like, that's what I picture. It reminds me of that when I keep hearing Donald Trump talking about how he really won the presidency. It's like, dude, get over it, okay? But anyway, what do you guys think about this story with regards to Donald Trump threatening to expose things about DeSantis that he says he knows more than maybe even his wife, if not maybe his wife knows a little bit more than he does, but he knows more about Ron DeSantis than anyone else knows. And if he runs, he's going to let the cats out of the bag. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section, guys. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. And until the next time, this is Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest. All right, guys, we're going to be talking about former Vice President Mike Pence and how he is now saying that Trump endangered him and his family. So this story comes from Politico, and he's basically now blasting the ex-president. So it came during an interview that he did on ABC, and it's being released in regards to an upcoming book. Of course, you got to have a book. When you were previously in office, you have to write a book, you have to write a memoir, and he's got a memoir coming out, and it's titled So Help Me God, and it's being released this week. So the story is that because Trump didn't get his way with his former vice president by having Pence not move forward with certifying the election of current President Joe Biden, that Trump got pissed off. And he declared on Twitter that Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution. And so the interviewer asked him about that. He asked him about the tweet and what his thoughts were. And he's now just admitting it. He's saying, it angered me, but I turned to my daughter who was standing nearby and I said, it doesn't take courage to break the law. It takes courage to uphold the law. Okay, cool. Those are your feelings. Those are your thoughts, and you have the right to them. And I wouldn't say that I disagree with it, but the thing that pisses me off about a lot of these people who have been in office or who currently are in office is it seems like they start to get the courage and the balls to speak out and truly how they feel, really, when they've either stepped out of office, when they choose not to run again, so they're not going to face another election, or they have a book coming out, or both. And so we see he's got a memoir that he's releasing. So now he's doing the press run, and now he's sharing what his thoughts really were. Like, why didn't you say that the day of or the next day? Like, what was so hard to do about that? But again, I believe he was still kissing the ring of Trump, and he didn't want to turn on the support that those who were still, not many, but I guess because there were a lot of people screaming and yelling, hang Mike Pence. So I don't know how how you felt like you still really had a lot of people still on your side in that way, but maybe you didn't want to have those people on your side. So again, why wait until now to say that? We're about to go into 2023, and that happened in January of 2021. But now that you've got a book coming out, now you're going to do the press run, press tour, and you're going to start sharing your thoughts and feelings about what happened on that day and what caused the rift and I guess the ending of that relationship. Because from what I heard, Trump said that he didn't want to be friends with him anymore. Wah, wah, wah. But anyway, this is just so crazy to me, guys. The fact that these people are supposed to be running the country, making decisions for we, the people, and they don't have the balls to stand up to the people that they are working alongside because they don't want to piss people, off and continue to hold their positions and look out for themselves. So again, that's one of the reasons why I don't even really subscribe to politics. I do definitely exercise the right that I have been given to vote. I don't know how much good it does, but when you've got people like this in position, they're ultimately looking out for themselves. So if they're really just looking out for themselves, how much can we really expect of them to look out for us? But those are just my thoughts, guys. You can let me know yours in the comment section.
Kiss my ass.